So I've always wanted to do some kind of martial arts sport. You know, it was kind of always lingering in the back of my mind, and we've always been interested in it. I don't know why I said we. I've always been interested in it, and I think as like a dude, you know, getting into like, you know, superhero movies when you're a kid or ninjas or whatever, you kind of always fantasize about, you know, being good at fighting. I've always wanted to have that kind of skill under my belt, mostly from a self-defense standpoint, because I've always kind of been like a scrawny, smaller dude. I've never been super buff, I've never been super jacked. Always thought that I would benefit from something like that. So now I've been training for, I think, like 9 months, maybe over 9 months, and I love it. You know, I've been obsessed with it, and I've learned a lot.
So Dale, how you feeling, buddy?
Good. My toe hurts, but feels better than the other day. It's kind of swollen. I was rolling with the coach, and he jammed his toe at the same time I did.
Rick, you fucked up your toe while you fucked up his toe?
Yeah.
Do you plan on starting standing up at all?
No.
Not at all.
Fuck no. I don't know, maybe. We'll see how I feel after I'm all warmed up and shit.
I kind of wanted a new passion to grab onto, something that was gonna give me some sort of fire the way that skating once did. Jiu Jitsu has been a great thing for me to dive into because it's reignited this new flame, new passion of a fire. And being new at something, sucking at something is a great feeling because it's something I can get obsessed with and get really into and not be so hard on myself that I don't know what's going on or if I'm getting my ass kicked, because I'm new. You know, I can allow myself that leeway, and I don't allow myself that leeway in skating because I have a certain standard in my mind, which I've tried to be more easy on myself with, but I have this standard in my mind of where I should be and what I should be capable of, and if I have a bad day, which we all do, it just upsets me and I throw everything out the window and I'm like, all right, I'm not having fun anymore. The counter to that is that jiu-jitsu has actually helped me channel my aggression in a way to where I can more so enjoy skating now and not take it so seriously and just go out and have fun.
What kind of submissions do you think you can pull off today?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Oh, in there.
So as soon as I started training, I feel like the first thing that I learned, which I anticipated, was humility.
Oh, there it goes. Oh!
Yeah, bro, he's a big boy. I'm tired. I can't move. Oh God. Yes, sir. Hi. I'm Dad, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Right when you start, you are just getting your ass kicked and treading water. It's a lot of energy exerted, and you're using your body in ways that you've never used it before. You're suffocating and you're being choked out and you're trying to survive and you're trying not to get choked out. So it's overwhelming, and yeah, you're just using a lot of energy. What they say is like, it takes a lot more energy to get smashed than to smash. Mind you, I'm a white belt, so I still like know nothing, but there's very obvious things that you learn right away. And then something clicks and you slowly start to understand learning how to breathe when you're being suffocated, or learning how to find that small pocket of air when you're being choked, or learning if you turn your arm in this way that it won't get snapped, even if it's just a centimeter. So little things like that start to click, and then, you know, slowly but surely you learn more technique, and then you start submitting other people. And
I'm gonna get thrown.
it's a very slow learning process, kind of like skating. There's a lot of learning curves. And it's very challenging, which is something that I like. I like the challenging aspect of skating. I like working at something that I really want to attain and then finally getting it. And then as soon as you attain it, there's more things to go after. That's kind of how I feel about jiu-jitsu. And
We're so close. We're so close.
also something I noticed when I first started is that it's just like chess. It's a lot of strategy. It's setting up your moves and trying to bait your opponent into doing something, so in hopes that you can perform the move that you want. A couple of the other things that I've learned too is trust between you and your opponent, and control, and also being aware of your body and where your limbs are and where you are in space and time. I mean, skating has a lot of that specifically as well. So it wasn't something that was super unfamiliar to me, but it was in a different way. You know, you have to trust that your opponent is going to respect when you tap because your arm is about to break or you're about to go to sleep. So it's kind of this intimate experience where you're bringing each other to the line, to the breaking point, and helping one another explore and learn more technique.
That was really fun.
Woo! How do you feel?
Fucking came to open mat and I got thrown in the gauntlet. I fucking came in as a goddamn punching bag, my guy. Your ego would be like, oh yeah, like I might be able to take them. And you come in here and I'm just like, I fucking can't breathe right now.
You don't realize how important a toe is.
Oh,
until
toe
you do
is
this.
big toe, especially the big toe.
I can't put any pressure.
Being aware of where your body is at when it comes to the breaking point, or whether or not like, oh, I should have tapped sooner because that kind of hurt. You go right up to those lines and you kind of learn what your body's limits are in that aspect, and you learn control of your body too, like controlling where your body is at and being aware that like, oh, my arm or my neck or my leg is in a really dangerous spot right now. I need to figure out how to get it out of there. So it's a new level of self-awareness, which is pretty fucking cool. You can maintain a situation in a dominant way without even hurting somebody, and you can control that situation without even hurting somebody. I want to talk a little bit about the similarities between skating and jiu-jitsu as well. So I have a friend who is a brown belt. He lives in China and he's been doing jiu-jitsu for years, and he's always told me and encouraged me to try it and get into it, and that's what planted the seed. It was like 8 years ago. And now that I do it, there is a lot of comparisons. There is a lot of similarities. People have different styles. The way people flow from position to position or move to move is vastly different than like the guy across the room. Everyone has their own game and everyone has their own style. In the beginning, it's not really something you can see. Just like skating, you know, you see someone grind a rail, you're not really paying attention to the way they're doing it. You're just paying attention to the fact that like, oh, he's grinding a gnarly handrail. Just like, you know, with jiu-jitsu, it's like, oh, he just choked him out. The similarity of spatial awareness too, being aware of where your board is on the obstacle, whether you're grinding or jumping down a stair set, so where your board is in air or where your board is at on the rail, where your feet positioning are. Jiu-jitsu is the same way, being aware of your limbs and what's exposed, what's not exposed, being aware of the other person's body and how you can use it against them. And there's so many different types of people that do it just like skating. It's kind of this melting pot of people who come in, and you're just meeting people that you wouldn't normally interact with had you not been doing the same activity. But I'm gonna keep doing this, and I really think that's all you can do when it comes to like, you know, the discipline aspect of it. Because people will ask me about that too, like, are they teaching you the discipline aspect of the sport as well? And I don't really know what they mean when they ask that. But as far as I know, for me personally, the discipline of it is to just keep showing up and to just keep trying harder. I guess I'm just gonna keep showing up, and I want to get better at it, so I'm just gonna keep training harder.
You know what the funny thing is, skater boy? It's like when you
Tell him.
when you're about to tap out somebody, like let's say you're like a white belt and you're about to get like somebody impossible, like even a black belt, right? You're like, oh my god, I can't believe it, I'm about to get this armbar, then they get out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like a real thing, you know? You don't get shy, you get like overly excited about it, like, oh.
You can't be too like happy with your own work.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I got all the way here, and now if I just do this, you just can be like, oh, there, boom, you have it. It's just you gotta be like canine mentality.
Yeah.
Like it's.
You can't really think, you know? You just have to go.
It's different, like, well, I mean, I guess it's not different. Well, I mean, it is different every time, but I mean, it's just like, some days I'm feeling like good, and then it's really just crazy how it feels just like skating in that sense. Like, I'll have a month where I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling real cozy, like at the park, like every like my muscles and limbs are all moving good,
Everything.
yeah, and then the next week I'm just like, oh, I'm struggling with all this stuff I was like felt okay with last week. It feels the same, like
you know. But
that's a true thing too. Like sometimes it's like you're invincible, right? You're in the zone for your own self. You know, I'm not saying that you're. But it's like, dude, like that guy couldn't get that, or I blocked that, and I got the pass here, and I did this.
You're in main character. Main character.
And you're like zoned in, and then other times like everybody is whooping your ass, right? Like in your own mind. It's not like, I guess like when you're a higher level, it's like I can't really say like, oh, that guy whooped my ass, but it's like for my standards, like I'm like substandard to myself, right? Like I'm not. I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's like, dude, I can't even hit this arm bar. You're like, I can't even hit this ollie. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's like, because I don't really, like, I compare like when I'm skating, I'm so competitive with my own self. I'm like, I did this last week. That means I should be able to do
That's
it
what I mean,
first try
and
this
jiu-jitsu
week.
for sure.
Yeah.
But like when you're really in the zone, like it feels good. Like, cause like it doesn't matter like who they put you up against. You're not scared. You know, you're like, yeah, you know, I got this all week. Yeah. And then the following week, it's like some little scrub just tossed you all over the place.
Yeah. You're like, fuck, I can't keep him out. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, sir.
How you feel?
That was good, yeah.
Good talk.
Yeah. I feel like that conversation right there was a good way to end it, too.